What's up everybody? Steve with the Penguin Outdoors YouTube channel, and today I've got a really good video for you. I'm going to show you how to make your own deer blind that's warm, dry, and just plain badass for free with stuff that you already have on your land. And I can tell you from doing some research over the last couple of days, nobody else on YouTube has done what I'm going to do for you today. So stay tuned, let's hit that intro. Alright guys, so getting ready for this video, I looked at so much of YouTube looking for like people that have already done this to get ideas to kind of form out what I can see in my head, because it's not something that I've ever done before. And I found nothing. I found people that made natural blinds, like stacking up logs and leaves and everything else. I saw guys that went to the hardware store and bought a ton of wood. I saw guys that used scrap wood. All stuff that I don't have, and you know what else I don't have? This in the budget. It's just, the budget's not there. So I came up with an idea. I've been watching Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, Luke's channel, shout out to him, for a long time. And he makes survival shelters using dead trees. He cuts them down. Basically a mini log cabin, if we're being honest. And I've never done that. I am not a carpenter. I am not built for hard labor, y'all. But I have a vision in my head for how I can do this, and I can completely change the game, not only for this coming hunting season, which is coming up real fast, but for like campouts with my daughter. I mean, I have a vision, and I'm going to do my best to bring it to life, and I'm going to take you guys along with me and show you how to do it yourselves. So before I get into the rest of the video, please hit that subscribe button. Approximately 80% of my viewers on my videos are not subscribers. If I could turn even half of them into subscribers, half of you that are watching this, if you're not a subscriber, the amount of content and quality and content and all that stuff that I can make for you guys just goes through the roof. And you have no idea how much I appreciate that 1 second it takes to bring that mouse down below this video and just click that subscribe button. And while you're there, if you like this video, tell me why. If you hate this video, tell me why. My lovers and my haters, I got love for all of you. So put it down in the comment section below. That's my spiel. I'm done talking. Let's build a deer blind. All right, we're gonna do our stack over there. We're gonna build there. Yeah. Real quick, let me show you an overhead map of the part of the land I'm standing on right now. And this is where I am. This section behind me is right in the corner. I got a fence line running to my right where that's all the neighbor's property over there. Buddy of mine hunts that. He's probably watching this. What's up, Travis? I'm gonna kill all those deer you passed on during bow season. And then this way is the tree line that runs up towards the family farm. And the deer tend to hop the fence just in front of me to my right and walk right on through here. And in the last 12 years, give or take, I have shot many deer out here, and I've shot them all the same way. While they walk across this pasture, from my ladder stand that's like 15 feet in the air. I've shot a couple of them sitting on the ground. I shot one of them from a pop-up blind. The problem is when I put pop-up blinds out here, the wind gets insane. No matter how well I brush them in, they all get destroyed. So I need a hard structure. And like many of you that are probably watching this video, I have seen some really impressive shooting houses, and they're just so expensive. And the ones that aren't expensive, they're still a couple $100 if you're gonna do it right. So I'm gonna build this one for free. And I'm gonna build it right behind me. And because I want to 45 it, not quite even 45, this direction. So I can see the fence line on my right, the tree line on my left, and all of the shootable pasture in between. So I don't want it too far out here because A, it's just very obvious to the deer. And I can tell you, I run late with my plans every year. So these deer are used to me screwing with stuff right before rifle season. But I don't want it to be too obvious. So that's reason one. Reason two is I want to maximize my visibility. And the third reason is I've got all this natural brush and stuff around it. And we're going to pile up a lot of our scrap and everything else just around this thing to really just kind of help it blend in. That, my friends, is a serious knife. It's almost obnoxious, but we're gonna do it anyway. The goal for today is to not fell any trees on the camera equipment. I think the percentage of us dropping a tree on GoPros is probably about 99.99999. As I told y'all in the beginning, you can see now for yourselves, I'm not a professional. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Oh God, that's heavy. You know, guys, as I'm looking at it, I think I might actually want it here at a slight angle. So, yeah, I think I want it here. Yeah, I think I want it here. Kind of up against that. Yeah. So, let's go. All right, guys. So, the area I kind of kicked out with my foot is 8 by 8. I think that might be a little large. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get me an 8-foot log and kind of see it in reality. I think we're aiming for a 6 by 6. We don't want to go too big because we want to, it's just going to take more wood and more work and more time. But the other reason is I'm going to be heating this with my buddy heater, which can heat a big area, but why make it heat an 8x8 area that's probably going to be as tall as I am, so 6'1", when you could do a 6x6. So let's get some wood and see what we're doing. All right, guys, I forgot to bring my tools to tighten the chain, and it hasn't been tightened in many uses, so we're gonna try and get the most efficiency out of it we can, because it is battery powered, so that we're not stopping in like an hour to wait for the battery to charge. So let's hop into side by side. Let's go get the tools. And while we're at it, we're gonna go by, there used to be a huge pile of wood over near the other side of the pasture. I don't know if it's still there, if it's been burned off, but if it's still there, we're gonna take a cruise by it and see what it's got to offer. Oh, I better take the phone off the hood. God, I love this property. It's just so beautiful out here. I gotta remember to look and see if my trail cameras are still up too. Yeah, there ain't much doing there. Oh. All right. No free wood coming from there. Maybe when I brush in, but not for building. A donkey. Oh. You want to say hi? Or are you just looking from afar? Oh, whatever. You shouldn't be scared of me. You're smaller than some of the deer I shoot. Hey, buddy. Say hi to the folks at home. All right, we're gonna get back to work. You can follow me out there if you want to. I don't mind. No ride-alongs though, you're on your own. This hill sucks. I'm guessing I'm gonna need 8 to 10 8-foot logs per side. I think what I'm gonna do, God, I'm out of shape. I think what I'm gonna do is make the sides 8 foot, nice and long, and possibly make the front and back 6 foot. But what I wanna do is get enough logs to make one wall for 2 reasons. One, proof of concept. I've seen structures built like this, the way that I'm picturing it, but I've never done it. So I need to get a wall up. Steve's got to be able to look at a wall and go, I built that. This ain't totally crazy. Once that wall is up, I can lay a couple other logs across and kind of get a feel for if that 6 foot width is what I want, or if I just want to go full send and do 8 foot. The other thing that getting that first wall up is going to tell me is how many logs approximately, because it varies with their size, it's going to take to build said wall. So, giddy up. You know, camera, one of us has to stay on our feet. I'm falling, you can't be falling. Come on now. Is I'm going to build my first wall. Well, I'm going to start my first wall. One, because I need a break from hauling logs up the hill. That's rough. You can tell I'm hurting. The other reason is so I can see how many logs I'm using, kind of like how I explained before, and to see if the ground is going to be cooperative enough to let me stake some sticks a little down in there to help build my wall. You'll see what I mean in a minute here. So I'm gonna see if I can't find two long enough sticks to do, limbs that I can turn into what I need. Sorry guys, I'm out of breath. So let's talk and more showing. All right guys, so behind me you've got this tree that fell down. I'm gonna use that to help me build the blind. So my back wall is gonna go against it, and my side wall is gonna go against it to the outside, and I'll explain the other side later. So what I'm gonna do is put the logs up against the outside of that and stack them. So they're gonna get lashed off using paracord to that tree and to posts. So the idea is to get this thing down in the dirt some and have two of them, and the logs drop down in between them, and it all gets lashed together. I've also got some screws I had laying around with me in case I get to a point where like I need to drive a screw into something. But that's kind of where we're going to start. I'm hoping that the ground will allow me to lay 2 to 3 logs down before I actually need the posts to kind of feel things out, but we'll see how it plays out. And I got one post and a big dream, so we're going to see how this plays out. All right, I think I'm actually going to go to the inside of that log for 2 reasons. One, it's going to help with the angle that I want, I think. And 2, there's kind of a slope there, so it's just going to make it more structurally, that wind is killer. It's going to make it more structurally sound to have it on the inside of that. And then I'm just going to go up and over it, and that'll make sense when we get to it. Now, I'm no expert, but if you have logs that are bigger around than others, common sense dictates those should probably go on the bottom. You know what, I think for the stake for the wall, I think I went a bit ambitious with how big around that one is. So I'm gonna go find me something a little skinnier. A lot of trial and error is going to go down with this project. We're learning together. That's the ticket. We're going to need smaller stakes. I do have an old deer stand that I was just cutting up a little bit ago. Because it's scrap metal, And I think what I'm end up doing is using some of the poles as these to help support these walls. Now obviously you may not have a scrap deer stand sitting in your field, but hopefully you're working with softer ground or in a different part of the year. Hopefully you can see me, I didn't really think about that. And you'll be able to drive them in better. We just have such hard ground. I knew, my one hesitation with this project is I knew hammering in sticks as supports might be a bit of an issue, and I wasn't wrong. Fire. All right, y'all, I'm gonna jump in the side-by-side and go get some of that metal because we're gonna go sideways already here. Be right back. I am so out of my element on this project. So I do want to point out real quick that some of you might see all these gaps between the wall and think he's doing it wrong, it's not going to be warm, whatever. I promise you, stick with me. We'll address that later on. When you're out in the woods, trail mix is a beautiful thing. Trail mix with dry bananas, well, that's just glorious. Be right back. Just like Slim Shady, guess who's back? A little bit of movie magic. So I had to pick my mom up with a side-by-side from another part of the farm. So I took advantage and I went out by our pond. Sorry, I got a little hangnail thing going on. And started looking for like whatever we just had piled around that I could use. And I started out looking for T-posts. And what I found was a big old stash of scrap wood. It's not pressure wooded, it's not pressure wooded. It's not pressure treated, it's nothing fancy. But it's gonna work for now, I think. My idea is to get it down there on the ground and maybe tap a little bit just to try to get a little bit of a bite into the dirt, and then just screw it into the outside of the logs. And I think a combination of that and the lashing, whatever, I think it may get us where we're trying to go. There should be plenty of wood up there. I put some in the side-by-side just for proof of concept, and we're gonna get back to work. Now I know what you're thinking, you said no lumber. I'm going a little outside of my goal and using the lumber to get mine done because this ground is just so hard. But down in the description of this video, I'm gonna leave a link to one of Luke's videos from the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel where he builds something like this to sleep in. He's done a lot of them, but I'm gonna put one of the videos down below. And you'll see how he's doing it with these stakes made out of the sticks to support the wall. I just can't do it in this dirt. It's just not going to work. So in order to be ready for hunting season, I'm going slightly outside of my goal, but I will note, this is still totally free. This didn't cost me anything. Oh shit. How long y'all been down there? Oh guys, I'm a hot mess today with the cameras, let me tell you. This does not have to be level. In fact, if I wanted to, I could put it at an angle even. But what I'm gonna do is connect these as a side piece, and then I'm gonna use these, put more screws in. I'm gonna use these posts to lash the walls to. And I'm gonna do my best to get the wall all or most of the way up without putting one on the inside, just so I can make sure that my spacing is perfect, pinching between the outside board and the one I'll have to put on the inside. In theory, I should be able to do both side walls with just 3 boards. Let's find out. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starving and I could go for a warm drink. So let's make some lunch. Guys, if you'd like to have one of these little camp stoves, like this little kit that I'm working with, it's super affordable. It's actually pretty darn cheap. I'll put a link in the description down below. Ooh, that's hot a bit. That's good stuff. So good. So good. Guys, I don't know if 4K is enough to tell how happy I am right now. This is actually probably going to be one of my favorite things about this blind when it's done, is the creature comforts of sitting there in a comfortable chair in the heat with my cooking kit, making whatever I want. All this painstakingly hard work is going to be worth it in just like 2.5 weeks here when we're sitting in this thing. Let's polish this off. Oh my God. Oh, help me, Jeebus. Oh, oi. Oh. Getting there. It's hard work, guys. It's real hard work. But if you guys have softer dirt, you're gonna have an easier time because you're not gonna need the screws, you're not gonna need the lumber. You'll have an easier time than me, especially if you've got construction experience. I don't know what I'm doing, so it's a miracle I've gotten this far. So we're gonna keep plugging away. We'll end up lashing all this together real well. Right now, we're just trying to get the wall up. This chain is killing me, guys. All right, so day one is gonna end shorter than I was planning it to. I was planning to go about 2 more hours, but I did get a late start today. So what I'm gonna do is in the morning, I'm gonna go out and get a new chainsaw chain. I need some paracord. I might get some long nails instead of using the screws. I don't know. We're gonna do a resupply and we'll be back out here in the morning for part 2. So with a little bit of movie magic, here comes part 2.